Hi Nana. We were continuing with the question bank 5 related to atomic structure and chemical bonding. In this video, we'll start with question number 12. Okay. So what is question number 12? Magnesium 1226 and magnesium 1224 are the symbols of two isotopes of magnesium. That means magnesium has two isotopes. One is magnesium 1226, magnesium 1224. See, generally, what are isotopes? Isotopes are the atoms of same element. These two are the atoms of same element. So, as they are atoms of same element, they possess same atomic numbers, but they differ in their mass numbers. Such atoms are said to be isotopes of magnesium. So these two are isotopes of magnesium. Okay, and these are the symbols of two isotopes of magnesium. Right. Now, what we have to do? We have to compare the atoms of these isotopes with respect to composition of their nuclei. So we have to see the nuclei of this atom and the nuclei of this atom and compare the nuclei of these two isotopes. Okay. Right. So first of all, let us see what is this one. Magnesium 12. Its atomic number is 12 and atomic mass is 26. So here magnesium 1226, magnesium 1224. So this is what? This indicates atomic number. What is atomic number? Atomic number, generally it is denoted by Z. Okay, generally it is denoted by Z. Atomic number is nothing but what? Number of number of protons. Okay. Total number of protons. How many? As atomic number is 12, so total number of protons will be 12. Okay. Right. Next, what does this indicate? Atomic mass. Okay. So for this one, I am rewriting. So atomic number of this one is 12 and even this one is also 12. So proton total number of protons. Total number of P stands for protons. Total number of protons is how many? So in this there are 12 protons. Here also there are 12 protons. Okay. What is atomic mass? Atomic mass is how much? 26. For this one it is 26. For this one it is 24. Okay. Always remember that atomic mass is equal to total number of protons plus total number of neutrons. Total number of protons is nothing but Z. That means Z plus N. N means total number of neutrons. So from this we can get the value of N. N is equal to A minus Z. N is equal to A minus Z. Okay. Bring this Z this side. N will be remaining. So that N will be equal to A minus Z. Okay. So that means number of neutrons is equal to A minus Z. So here total number of neutrons. Total number of neutrons. That means equal to A minus Z. How much it is? So here A minus, what is A? 26. Z 12. So 26 minus 12. How much it will be? It will be 14. 26 minus 12 it will be 14. So here how much? In this atom, what is atomic mass? 24. What is atomic number? 12. So that means atomic mass minus atomic number will give total number of neutrons. So in this particular atom, in this particular isotope of magnesium, there are 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Whereas this isotope of magnesium, it possesses 12 protons but 14 neutrons. Okay, so generally what is atom? Atom is spherical structure. In the center you will find a nucleus. Okay, so what is this one called as? Nucleus. Nucleus. If this is the atom, the central portion of the atom is called as nucleus. Nucleus contains protons and neutrons, whereas electrons are present outside of the nucleus in orbits. They are present in the orbits. Okay, they are present in the orbits outside of the nucleus. They contain the so this is outside of the nucleus. This is nucleus. This is nucleus. Outside of the nucleus contains electrons. These are what? Electrons. These are electrons. Right? E minus. Generally, electrons are represented by E minus. So, how many electrons are there? How many electrons are there in this atom? Total number of electrons is equal to how many? Generally, it is a neutral atom because it is not given. There is no charge. No charge is given. It is not given as +2. If some charge is given, then it is not a neutral atom. But here, charge is not given. In the question, charge is not given. Hence, these are neutral atoms. Okay. In a neutral atom, total number of electrons will be equal to what? It will be equal to Z only, which is also equal to protons, total number of protons. So altogether how many protons are there? 12. Therefore how many electrons will be? Only 12 electrons will be. And here also, this is also neutral atom. That means there is no charge in this atom. There is no charge, overall charge on this atom. Hence it is also neutral atom. As it is neutral atom, so number of protons should be equal to number of electrons. And even also, this is also neutral atom. So number of protons should be equal to number of electrons. Then only atom will be neutral. Okay. So that means number of positive charges. Protons means positive charges. Electrons means negative charges. As it is neutral atom, it should contain equal number of positive charges and equal number of negative charges. So that means positive charges, if there are 12 positive charges, negative charges also should be 12. Okay. So like this, protons and electrons. Electrons and protons. There are 12 in number. Right. And here also, as it is electrically neutral, that means neutral atom, it should contain same number of electrons and protons. Okay, right. Now, the nucleus always contains protons and neutrons. Now, if you compare these two atoms, what is the question? Composition of the nuclei. So we have to compare. We have to compare with respect to, we have to compare that two atoms, these two atoms, compare these two atoms, okay, isotopes, these two isotopes with respect to composition of the nuclei. Okay, suppose if I take this atom, so atom of this one, it contains, this is a nucleus, let us assume, and this is atom, entire thing is atom. In the center you will find nucleus, exactly center means, okay, somewhat, just you imagine, okay, simply imagine. So this is the nucleus of this atom. So composition of the nucleus. What is the meaning of composition? Composition means what are the substances present in it. It will explain about the composition. Suppose if you take breakfast, the breakfast contains what? Suppose if you take idli as breakfast, now what is the composition of your breakfast? The composition of your breakfast is idli, chutney, sambar. Okay. Suppose if you take biryani, if you eat biryani, what is the composition of biryani? Biryani contains what? That biryani, that salad, okay, and even different vegetables or else even chicken or else mutton. So all these things are added. What are the different things which are present in that biryani is said to be composition. So all those things together it is said to be composition. In the same way, if you see the atom, the nucleus of the atom contains always what do they contain? They contain protons and neutrons. Okay. So in this particular atom, in this particular isotope, and I will draw the isotope atom of this isotope also. This is the nucleus. This is the nucleus of this isotope, and this is the atom. Okay. So now nucleus always contains what? Protons and neutrons. So how many protons are there? 12 protons are there. 12 protons are there. And here also, in this atom also, there are 12 protons. 12 protons. How many neutrons are there in this atom? In this isotope, there are 14 neutrons, but in this isotope there are 12 neutrons. So here, how many neutrons are there in this isotope? There are 14 neutrons in this isotope. Okay, how many? 14 neutrons in this isotope. Whereas here, this isotope contains only 12 protons. So 12 protons and 12 neutrons. 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Okay, so now like this, the nucleus of these two can be compared, okay, based on the proton number and neutron number. What is it? How many protons are there? Here this nucleus, the nucleus of this isotope, it is having 12 protons and 14 neutrons. But the nucleus of this isotope, it contains 12 protons and 12 neutrons. So like this, the comparison of nucleus can be done. Okay, right. Next, so that means the nucleus of this particular atom is having, this isotope of magnesium is having 12 protons and 14 neutrons. But the nucleus of this isotope of magnesium, it is having 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Right. Next, there is another sub question in this 12th question. What is that one? Electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. We have to write electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. What is the meaning of electronic configuration? Electronic configuration is nothing but systematic arrangement of electrons in various orbits. It is nothing but systematic arrangement of electrons in various orbits. Suppose if you take this atom, this isotope, so it is having how many electrons altogether? There are 12 electrons. All the 12 electrons, they are not arranged in a group, in a single group. They are arranged differently. How they are arranged? For example, if you take this is the first orbit. See, this is nucleus. Okay, around the nucleus, what do you find? Orbits are formed. So in the first orbit, there are only 2 electrons. Always maximum 2 electrons. We cannot arrange more than 2 electrons in the first orbit. First orbit of any atom. In first orbit of any atom, we cannot put more than 2 electrons. Okay, we may put 1 electron, we may put 2 electrons, but we cannot put third electron in the first orbit. So out of 12 electrons, so first orbit is called as K shell. First orbit is called as K shell. That means in K shell, how many electrons are there? There are only 2 electrons. In K shell there are how many electrons? In K shell there are only 2 electrons. How many electrons are left over? 10 more electrons are left over. But if you see the second orbit, the maximum capacity of second orbit is only 8 electrons. It cannot hold more than 8 electrons. It may hold 1 electron, or it may hold 2 electrons, or it may hold 3 electrons. Up to 8 electrons it may hold, but it cannot hold more than 8 electrons. So I can draw how many electrons in the second orbit? Maximum 8 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So the second shell is called as L shell. L shell. So altogether I have drawn how many electrons? I have arranged how many electrons? I have arranged only 10 electrons in a systematic way. Systematic way means, I have allotted 2 electrons in the first orbit. I have allotted 8 electrons in the second orbit. So like this, in a systematic way, in a fixed way. Okay, such type of arrangement of electrons is said to be electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? Electronic configuration is nothing but systematic arrangement of electrons into various orbits. So all the 12 electrons are arranged. See how many electrons are left over now? So in the first orbit 2 electrons, and in the second orbit L shell, in the second orbit how many electrons are there? 8 electrons. So second orbit cannot contain more than 8 electrons. Second orbit cannot accommodate more than 8 electrons. Then altogether how many electrons are finished? Only 10 electrons are finished. But this particular atom is having 12 electrons. So where do the other 2 electrons are present? So other 2 electrons are present in the third orbit. Okay, they are present in the third orbit. So third orbit is called as KL M shell. Third orbit is called as M shell. M shell. So that means in M shell of this isotope, there are only 2 electrons. So this is called as electronic configuration. This is called as electronic configuration of this particular isotope. In the same way, if you see this isotope, even this isotope also there are 12 electrons. If it is having 12 electrons, so then you will find the same type of electronic configuration. You will find same electronic configuration. So nucleus contains 12 protons, 12 neutrons. So if this is the first orbit maximum, we can put only 2 electrons. We cannot put the third electron in the first orbit. Okay, now if it is second orbit can contain maximum 8 electrons only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons only. Now how many electrons are left over? Only 2 electrons are left over. Because as its atomic number, as it is a neutral atom, okay, as it is neutral atom, so the total number of proton should be equal to total number of electrons. Okay, so how many electrons are there? Only 12 electrons are there. Out of 12 electrons, so first orbit contains 2 electrons, second orbit contains 8 electrons. So 10 electrons are arranged. So 2 more electrons to be arranged. So they are arranged in the third orbit. Third orbit means M shell. Okay, so first orbit is K shell, second orbit is L shell, and third orbit is M shell. So in this particular atom also, so K shell is having how many electrons? In this particular atom also, K shell is having only 2 electrons, L shell is having 8 electrons and put comma. Okay, and L shell, this is L shell, and M shell is having how many? M shell is having only 2 electrons. So M shell have capacity of more than 2 electrons, but in this particular atom, as there are only 12 electrons, so altogether there are 10 electrons are finished in K shell and M shell, L shell. So that is why only 2 electrons are left over in this atom, and those 2 electrons are present in the M shell, right? So this is called as electronic configuration of this atom, and this is electronic configuration of this atom. See, if you compare the electronic configuration of these two, they are same, they are similar, because they possess same number of electrons. Atoms, when they possess same number of electrons, they generally possess same electronic configuration. Okay, so this is what the electronic configuration. So this is the answer for this sub question B. Now there is another sub question also. What is the third sub question? Which element contains only give reason why two isotopes of magnesium have different mass numbers. Give reasons. Give a reason why two isotopes of magnesium. Why these two isotopes of magnesium? Why two isotopes of magnesium? Why two isotopes of magnesium have different mass numbers? Have different mass numbers. Mass number means, what is the meaning of mass number? Mass number means A. Okay. See, the value of this one, A, is 26, whereas the value of A of this one is, how much? A value of this one is 24. It is 24, whereas this one is 26. What makes these two atoms? They differ in their mass numbers. See, here in this particular atom, there are 12 protons and 14 neutrons. Okay, total mass number is nothing but total number of protons plus total number of neutrons. Okay, so in this particular atom, there are how many protons are there? 12 protons are there. In this atom also there are 12 protons. Okay, this atom contains 14 neutrons, but this atom contains only 12 neutrons. Okay, so that is why its total mass is 12 plus 14. How much it is? 26. But its mass is 12 plus 12. Only 12 plus 12. Hence it is 24. So the mass of this one is 26, whereas the mass of this one is 24. So that is why atomic mass, or else mass number of this one is 26, mass number of this one is 24. So where they are differing, these two isotopes, they are differing in the number of neutrons. Okay, so that means the number of neutrons, there are two neutrons extra in this isotope when compared to this one. Okay, so here for this question we can write like this: magnesium 12 26 possess two neutrons extra. Okay, possess two neutrons extra when compared to which one? Magnesium 1224. Okay, so magnesium 1226 possess, okay, two neutrons extra when compared to magnesium 224. Okay, so this is the reason. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, so the question, give the reason. So give reason why two isotopes of magnesium have different mass numbers. So that is why this is having mass number 26, this is having mass number 24. So what makes the difference between these two? The difference between these two is They are differing in their number of neutrons. They possess same number of protons, 12 protons and 12 protons. But in the number of neutrons they are differing. So it contains 14 neutrons, but here it is only 12 neutrons. What is atomic mass? Or else mass number? Mass number is nothing but the sum of protons and neutrons. The sum of total number of protons and total number of neutrons is nothing but mass number. So here it will be 12 plus 14, it will be 60, 12 plus 14, it will be 26. But here 12 plus 12, 24. So that means these two isotopes, they are differing in their masses, in their mass numbers, just because of neutrons. Okay. So in this way we can give the explanation to this question. Okay, right. Now we will see the 13th question. What is 13th question? What is the 13th question? Calculate the relative atomic mass calculate the relative atomic masses of the following elements. Of the following elements. Okay, so here in 13th question there are two sub questions. What is the sub question A? Element, which element it is? Copper. Okay, calculate the relative atomic masses of the following elements. So here first element is given as copper. We have to find the relative atomic mass of copper. In order to find this one, so here this copper, it is having, suppose if I have element copper, so these are all, this is what, let us assume atoms are actually, we cannot see the atoms of any element we cannot see, but just for making you understand, so I have written I've differentiated atoms. Here this particular copper, it is having two types of atoms. Okay, two types of atoms are there. What are those two types of atoms? One type of atom is copper 29. So here question, actually we'll complete this question first. Which contains, so copper, which contains, okay, copper which contains 69% of copper 63. What is the meaning of copper 63? That means there are 69% of copper 63. That means copper 63. So this 63 indicates atomic mass or else mass number. So copper 63. So actually copper atomic number is 29 and its mass number is 63. So here this entire thing is copper only. Okay, this entire thing is what? Copper. So in this particular sample of copper, there are two types of copper atoms. What are they? One type of copper atoms are copper 2963. Another type of copper atoms are copper 29 and 65. Okay, so these two are the atoms of the same element copper. They are having same atomic number, but they are differing in their masses. Okay, hence these two are said to be isotopes of copper. Okay, so copper. So this particular element copper, it contains what? 69% of copper 63. So how much? These atoms are present 69 percentage. So suppose this is copper 63, small atoms copper 63 and large atoms copper 65. So how much it will be? It will be around 31%. So 31 percentage of copper 65. Okay. And 31 percentage of copper 65. So this is the question. So in this case, suppose here this is copper. Okay, this is which element? Copper. But in this particular copper element, there are two types of atoms available. Okay, what are those two types of atoms? Two types of copper atoms. So one is copper 63 and another one is copper 65. So copper 63 and another one is copper 65. So copper 63, it is present in 69 percentage. So that means more amount. So this is the copper 63 is present in more amounts when compared to copper 69. Sorry, copper 65 is only 31 percentage, whereas copper 69 is present. Copper 63 is present in 69 percentage, whereas copper 65 is present in 31 percentage only. Right. So here, okay, this is the given thing. So here, what we have to find? We have to calculate the relative atomic mass. So now, what is the mass of copper? So this particular sample is having two types of copper atoms. If there are two types of copper atoms, then what relative atomic mass means? We have to consider all the atoms, all the different types of copper atoms, and we have to give the mass of this copper atom. So generally, mass of this copper atom is generally treated as 63.5 around. Why it is called as 63.5? No atom is having atomic mass of 63.5. But generally the copper atom, we consider the atomic mass of copper as 63.5. Why? What is the reason? Because this particular copper, it is having two types of atoms, two types of copper atoms. So we will take the average of atomic mass of these two atoms, and after calculating the average of atomic mass of these two, so we'll get the average value of copper as 63.5. So that average is nothing but relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass is nothing but average. It is nothing but average atomic mass. Why should we take average? What is the need of taking average? Because this is a copper atom and even this is also copper atom only. These two are isotopes of the same element, copper. Okay, if that is the case, then if someone asks what is the atomic mass of copper, then which one we have to take? Either this one or else this one. We cannot take this one as the standard, or else this one as the standard we cannot take. Then how can you express the atomic mass of copper? So the atomic mass of copper can be expressed only upon averaging the values of these two. How to average the values of these two? So that is the big question. So there is a small formula to do that one. Simply, what is this one? Percentage of copper 63 into mass of that copper 63. So percentage of this atom into mass of this atom. So how much? Percentage of percentage of isotope 1, isotope 1. So this is isotope 1. There are two isotopes. Isotope 1. This is isotope 2. Okay, there are two isotopes. So this is isotope of copper 1. The first isotope of copper. This is second isotope of copper. Okay, so here percentage of isotope 1 into mass of into atomic mass. So into atomic mass. So I'll write properly once again. Relative atomic mass. It is also called as, it is nothing but average mass. Is nothing but percentage of isotope 1, okay, percentage of isotope 1 into atomic mass of isotope 1, okay, plus again same percentage of isotope 2 into atomic mass of isotope 2. Okay, isotope 2. Okay, so percentage of isotope 1 into atomic mass of isotope 1 plus percentage of isotope 2 into atomic mass of isotope 2 divided by total percentage. So now percentage of isotope 1. So what is the percentage of isotope 1? 69 into atomic mass of isotope 1. So what is atomic mass of isotope 1? 63. So atomic mass of isotope 1 is 63 plus percentage of isotope 2. This is isotope 2. How much percentage? 31% into mass of isotope 2. Atomic mass of isotope 2. What is atomic mass of isotope 2? 65 by total percentage. Total percentage means how much? It will be 100. Okay. So if you calculate this, so here this will be equal to 4140 and this one will be equal to 4347 and this will be equal to 6362 by how much? By 100. Okay, so altogether, it will be equal to 2015. It will be equal to 2015. Okay, so altogether it will be equal to 6325 by 100. So that means it will be equal to 63.6362. So that's 63.62. Okay, so that means nearly it is equal to 63.62. So this is what? This is the average atomic mass or else relative atomic mass of copper. So copper, what is the relative atomic mass of copper? So how to calculate this relative atomic mass of copper when isotopes are given? When two different isotopes of the same element are given, then we have to use this formula. What is this formula? Percentage of isotope 1 into atomic mass of isotope 1 plus percentage of isotope 2 into atomic mass of isotope 2. Okay, divided by total percentage. So finally you will get some value. That value is nothing but the average mass of this one. Okay, so because we cannot we cannot tell that copper atomic mass is 63, or else we cannot tell copper atomic mass is 65, because if you tell copper atomic mass is 63, then here there are some other copper atoms which have atomic mass 65. So we should not express the copper atomic mass as 63, or else we cannot express that mass of copper as 65. So then what then how should we explain, or else how what will be the atomic mass of copper? So in that case, as there are more than one copper atoms, as there are more than one different copper atoms, different types of copper atoms, we have to take the average of masses of those two copper atoms by using this formula, and finally upon calculation we will get the value as 63.62. Okay, so what is the atomic mass, average atomic mass of copper? It will be 63.62. Generally, in general practice, we'll take the atomic mass of copper as 63.5. Okay, suppose here upon perfect calculations, by using this data we will get the value of 63.62. But in a general purpose, this number will become easy for calculation purpose, hence we will use this one as a copper and as the atomic mass of copper. Okay, so as of now, this for this question, what is the answer? So this is the answer. Okay, what is the answer? 63.62. So this is the answer. Okay, right. So this is the part related to A, sub question A. So this is the explanation related to sub question A. So once again we will go through the question. 13th question. 13th question says us to calculate the relative atomic mass of the following elements. So here first element is given copper. So what is the relative atomic mass of copper based on this data? So what is the given data? So this data says that this copper contains 69% of copper 63, and this copper contains 31% of copper 65. Suppose if this is copper, in this copper there are two isotopes of copper, or it's two different atoms of copper. So this is one atom of copper, one type of atoms of copper, and this is another type of atoms of copper. So these particular types of copper atoms, they are present in 69%, whereas this particular type of copper atom, they are present only in 31%. So if this is the case, then we have to calculate what the relative atomic mass of copper. Okay. So how to calculate the relative atomic mass of copper? So by using this element, this formula. Okay. Right. Next, one more sub question is given. We'll see the sub question B. What is sub question B? Sub question B, it tells about gallium, another element, gallium. What is the atomic number of gallium? 31. After zinc, gallium will come. Okay, gallium, which contains gallium. Okay, which contains 60% of gallium, 60% of gallium 69, gallium 69. So two types of gallium atoms here also. Gallium 69, it is of 60%. Now which element? Now the element is gallium. So now we will change these elements. Okay, so here this particular element is now here it is gallium. Here also there are two types of gallium atoms. One is gallium 31 and 69. So what does this one indicate? This indicates atomic mass or else mass number. Okay, 60% of gallium 69 and 40% of gallium 71. 40% of gallium 71. Gallium 71. So that means there are another type of gallium atoms, okay, whose mass is 71. So these gallium atoms, they are present in 60%, whereas these gallium atoms, they are present only in 31%. 31, not 31, 40%. 40%. They are present in 40%. Okay. So 60% of gallium 69 and 40% of gallium 71. Okay. So now here also we have the same thing. Calculate the relative atomic mass of element gallium. Okay. So now we have to apply the same formula. In order to find the relative atomic mass of any element, the same formula can be used. So percentage of isotope 1 into atomic mass of isotope 1. So if you consider this as isotope 1 and this as isotope 2, this is isotope 1 and this is isotope 2. These are the isotopes. So here, in order to find the relative atomic mass or its average atomic mass, so relative atomic mass and average atomic mass of gallium is equal to percentage of isotope 1 into 69. That means 69 means here atomic mass of isotope 1. So here 60 into 69. Percentage of isotope 1. So percentage of isotope 1 is 60 into atomic mass of isotope 1. What is atomic mass of isotope 1? 69. 69 plus percentage of isotope 2 plus percentage of isotope 2 into atomic mass of isotope 2. So what is the percentage of isotope 2? 40 into what is the atomic mass of isotope 2? 71 by 100 by total percentage. Total percentage will always be equal to 100. Okay. So now upon calculation we will get these values as 4140. Okay, this one as 2840 by 100. Okay, so it will be equal to 6980 by 100. So that means it will be equal to 69.8. So what is the average atomic mass of gallium? Generally we will write average atomic mass of gallium as 69.8. So this is the value, calculated value. So no atom is having this value. This atom, it is having 69, whereas this gallium atom is having 71. But we have to use this value. The average value of gallium is 69.8. Why we need to calculate the average value? Because neither of the atoms will give the correct atomic mass. Okay, so neither of the atom will give because both the type of atoms are present here. When more than one type of atoms of same element are present, then in order to know the atomic mass, so we cannot take the atomic mass of any one element. We cannot take. So we have to consider the atomic mass of all the elements, all the atoms of the same element. You have to consider the atomic mass of all the atoms of that same element, and then only we have to express the atomic mass. So how to express the atomic mass? If that is the case, then we have to use this formula. So by using this formula, finally we got the relative atomic mass of gallium, or else average atomic mass of gallium as how much? 69.8. So in this way we can calculate the relative atomic mass or average atomic mass of the given elements. Relative atomic mass or average atomic mass of the given elements can be calculated like this. Okay, na? Right. So we will continue with the 14th question in the next video. Okay.